Welcome back, family. Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Sir Local 187. You know how we do it around here. The grind don't stop. So I'm hoping you and your family had a good Christmas. Hopefully you are safe. Hopefully you are warm. And today, just pretty much like a topic discussion, if you will, a little bit of a history lesson. I'm not sure if it'll be all that, but anyway, the main ingredient is which is the most iconic colorway of the Air Jordan 1. Is it the Breds or is it the Chicagos? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give a little breakdown about both the colorways, and yeah, we'll get into it. And to the new family members, I appreciate you. If you're into sneakers, you're definitely in the right place. And we're on the road to 1K, y'all. So I will do a giveaway at 1K. Today ain't so bad. It's about like 40 degrees. I know up here in North Texas, we did have a freeze, but none compared to what they're getting in the East Coast, in the Midwest, and all these other states. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people without power. So my prayers go out to them. Hopefully y'all got power. Get your power restored, or hopefully y'all are put in a warm shelter, y'all. So with that being said, I got a couple things. You know, this is the last week of December. This year has gone by quick. It's been a wild ride. So we're gonna finish off the year, hopefully, with the Air Jordan 2 Chicago OG colorway. And that's a great way to end the year, if you ask me. I still have, I think my for those of y'all that have been following me for a while, I mentioned that I caught the, you know, at Soulfly, the Air Jordan 13 Soulflies that came out December 2nd, y'all. And I think they finally shipped them. I don't have an exact location, but I should be getting that this week, probably by the end of the week. So look out for that video. I'll have the Air Jordan 13 Soulfly collaboration, and hopefully I got my fingers crossed. I'll cop those Air Jordan 2 Chicago colorway. And drop a comment and let your boy know, are y'all gonna be going for them Chicago 2s, okay? So with that being said, let's get right into it. And really, there's no right or wrong answer. Just let me know which colorway y'all prefer, the Bred or the Chicagos. So let's get into it. And forgive me, you know what I'm saying, it's been kind of cold, and it's supposed to be, I think, in the 50s by the end of this week. You know, as the day of this recording, it is Christmas. Like I said, the grind don't stop. So that's how a lot of people get sick. You know, it gets cold and then warm, and whatever the case may be. So anyway, let's get to it. All right, y'all. So there you have it. You have the Chicago colorway and you have the Bred colorway. Okay. Now, for the sake of this video, the Bred colorway, released back in 1984-85, Michael Jordan's rookie season. And to be corrected, those were actually a precursor to the Air Jordan 1s. The Air Jordan 1 wasn't quite done or out, if you will. I mean, the airships look at almost exactly the same as the Air Jordan 1. There is some differences, not much if you ask me, but there is some differences. So I just wanted to state that fact in front before I get the rest of this video started. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. This is just personal preference. Now I'll just talk about a little bit about the meaning, to me at least, I'm saying, with each colorways, and letting you know which one do I like more out of the two. But I love them both, okay? So in 1984-85, Nike had these Nike airships, which they came out in the Bred colorway, and I believe they call it a Chicago colorway, but it was mainly red and white, if you will. Now, back in those days, and even up until the 2000s, early 2000s or mid 2000s, the NBA started relaxing on the rules of in regards to the sneakers, okay? Because some of the rules were, back in that time, up into the 2000s, like I mentioned, was that the sneaker had to match the uniform, okay, and it had to have 51% of white in it. So in other words, the majority, or at least half of the sneaker, had to be white, okay? So when Michael Jordan wore the Bred colorway, if you will, it broke the rules, okay? And so Michael Jordan, got on some talk show hosts and referred to the colors as devil colors, and it reached up to the the NBA, heads, and they didn't like that, besides Jordan, not following the rules, if you will. So from a personal standpoint, I'm glad that Jordan kind of stood his ground and did what he wanted. He didn't want to be controlled, which is kind of, he was a trendsetter, if you will. And that's kind of how I believe how we should live our lives. I'm not saying break the rules and go to jail and whatnot, but, be your own leader. Don't follow the crowd, if you will, like your boy MJ. So then, okay, so the VP of the NBA, who was, I believe his name was Russ Granite, if I'm pronouncing it right, he sent a pretty bad letter up to the Nike VP, Rob Strasser, in February of 85. Now remember, Jordan wore these in October of 84, 85. So, you already had 4 or 5 months or whatever playing in the league. And they pretty much didn't like that Jordan broke the rules, okay? So the letter was pretty much telling Nike, hey, they need to, stop either making, that colorway, or to tell Jordan, hey, stop supplying Jordan with that Bred colorway. You know what I'm saying? Because, excuse me, because they're going to fine Michael Jordan $5,000 each time he wore the Bred colorway sneaker on the court. And Nike, which was good promotion at the time, normally you would think with threats like that it would damage the brand or whatever the case may be. But in this particular case, with Jordan brand, which, well, it wasn't Jordan brand then, but y'all get it. With Michael Jordan and Nike, it actually did the opposite. It created a legend, a folklore, if you will. So Nike was happy, more than happy, to pay the $5,000 fine. And man, so that's pretty much the quick history of the Bred, if you will. It was the Nike airship. Broke rules, ahead of his time. Be your own leader. Don't be afraid. It's like the message I get from the Bred colorway, if you will. And it's such an iconic colorway amongst us sneakerheads up until now, 2022. And it's got the Chicago Bulls colorway. Now, I'm not sure if the airships had the white midsole or not. And it was famous around that time in the 80s too, because it picked up so much steam in media response, if you will. That Nike had some ads, some campaigns, slash where, they've been called banned You know, and they've even come out with some retros. I don't even know if the airships had an X in the back of the heel or not. I'm not 100% sure. But they're being dubbed banned because the NBA wanted to ban them. Or they did ban them, but MJ still wore it, and Nike paid the fines. So he was a rebel. He was a trendsetter. All right. So that was just a little bit about the Bred colorway. And, you know, to me, both the colors tie into MJ himself on the court. You know what I'm saying? And with the Bred colorway, like I said, he was his own man, even during his rookie season. Okay. So now let's get to the Chicago colorway, which actually came out in February of '85. Okay, and by then it was actually the Air Jordan 1. They already had released the Air Jordan 1. It wasn't the airships. And that was, of course, to match the Chicago Bulls, you know what I'm saying, uniform, the colors, red, white, and black. You know, Benny the Bull is their mascot. And just a little history about the organization, the Chicago Bulls. It was established in 1966, okay? And shoot, pretty much up until Jordan came, I mean, the Chicago Bulls cannot sell out their stadium, the United Center. They cannot sell out any of their games. And as far as I know, and somebody correct me, as far as I know, they didn't have, you know, many great winning seasons, if you will. Okay? So it wasn't until Michael Jordan came in the mid 80s and up into the late 80s, you know what I'm saying? He put Chicago on the map. And he really put Chicago on the map in the 90s when they won their 6 championship, rings, NBA championship rings in the 90s, a dynasty. And so now, you know, Chicago is forever on the map, if you will. They might have losing seasons. They have not won a championship, by the way, since '98. I thought they were going to do it with Derrick Rose, and they actually have a decent squad now. You know what I'm saying? Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, Gooch, just to name a couple. So we're due for a championship, y'all. Us Chicago Bulls fans are due for a championship. It's been a while. So the Chicago colorway, like I mentioned, you know, and in the 80s too, you know, Doug Collins coached the Bulls from '86 to '89. By then, the Bulls, I mean, they were making their runs, but, you know, really couldn't get past the hump, if you will. Couldn't get past the first round. Okay, first round of the playoffs. And if they did, it wasn't often. You know what I mean? It wasn't very often because the dynasty, when Jordan came in '85, I mean, Magic Johnson, the Los Angeles Lakers, Larry Bird, and the Boston Celtics. And you could throw in Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons. They were pretty much running the show in the 80s. Those three. So Michael Jordan, he was missing something. Excuse me, y'all. Was it coaching? I don't know. But I think Doug Collins is a very underrated coach. And just a fun little fact, Doug Collins reunited with Michael Jordan when he came back from retirement the second and final time when he played with the Washington Wizards from 2001 to 2003. Okay? So even though Jordan put the Bulls on the map in the 80s, it wasn't up until the 90s. Okay, is when they won their NBA championship. They had Phil Jackson. And by then, they had a good supporting cast, if you will. You know, we all know that basketball is more than a one-person team. But let's be honest, y'all. Michael Jordan carried the Bulls. Now, he had the greats of Scottie Pippen. Could he have won without Scottie Pippen? I don't think so, and I don't know. But they were the Batman and Robin. Perfect dynamic duo. You know, you had Horace Grant, you had B.J. Armstrong, Will Perdue, Bill Cartwright, Horace Grant, Dennis Rodman. You know what I'm saying? Just to name a few. Even John Sally played for them. Okay, so he had a good supporting cast. And I think that was like one of the missing pieces of the puzzle for the Bulls and Michael Jordan to overcome, you know what I'm saying, their first round playoff exits that they've experienced in the mid 80s. Okay? But it is Michael Jordan's team without a doubt. Okay, so the Chicago colorway, to me, like I said, MJ put Chicago on the map. That's what I'm getting off the Chicago colorway. Michael Jordan put Chicago Bulls on the map. Ain't no denying that. Okay? And the Bred was very, very iconic. Okay? Now, I do love both colorways. All right? So that's why, you know, if I had to pick one out of the two, I'm going to pick with the Chicago 1 colorway for that simple reason. Because I'm a Bulls fan, and also because MJ and the supporting cast put Chicago Bulls on the map. You know what I'm saying? They've been selling out their arenas ever since Jordan came. They've been selling out their arenas. Prior to Jordan, you could pretty much say they were a laughing stock. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't fill up their seats. So that's why I'm going with the Chicago 1. He put Chicago on the map. Okay? So that's enough of the little video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this content. And like I say, excuse my voice, a little raspy. Just getting over a cold, if you will. So which color is y'all picking? Let your boy know. But I'm picking the Chicago 1's colorway. All right, so that's the main ingredient. Excuse me, y'all. And, you know, your boy can't cook without the special ingredient, and that's every single one of y'all that's taking time out of your day to watch my videos. So until next time, oh, real quick, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, hit that notification bell, so when your boy Sir Local's cooking in the kitchen, y'all be the first ones to come and get it. Until next time, peace.